And boom, boom. We are live, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to LinkedUp on LinkedIn. I'm Peter Clarke of Red TV, and I want to welcome you, everybody who's watching us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, but of course, LinkedIn is our focus today because, of course, we're linked up on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty pumped today. I'm always pumped to talk to people in the travel industry. I love the travel industry, just so that everybody knows. The reason why I'm so passionate about travel is because it's shaped my life. It's changed me. It's opened my mind, my spirit, my soul. And I also learned how to do a lot of video creative when I traveled around making travel videos, and you meet so many different people and so on. And so I just love everything to do with travel. And of course, this series that we're having right now is talking about time to travel, because it is 2020. We're moving into 2021, and we need to have these conversations. So I'm reaching out to some really, really cool people, and I met this new person. I'm so excited to be a new friend of this person from TTI Travel, and we're going to talk a little bit about why it's so important to be doing travel. So to be doing travel, to be in travel, to be doing everything we can to support travel as well. So I want to welcome a very special guest today, is Lucy Vieira. How are you, Lucy?
I'm great, Peter. How are you this morning?
Listen, this is as good as it gets. Talking to someone like you, this is as good as it gets. It's fantastic.
Oh,
Really great to see you. I appreciate you
you're
joining
too
me
kind.
today.
Thank
So,
you.
well, let's just jump right into it. I mean, first and foremost, your family, you, everyone's safe and sound during these crazy times in 2020. Are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. My husband, my daughter, we're fine. We are closer than we have ever been, a silver lining of COVID, and just happy to be safe and healthy in these times.
Right. And that's the point of asking that question. It's so important that we remember that, without your help, a lot of other things fall to the back burner. So here we are. We're talking about travel. You're with TTI Canada, as you know. We had your partner on here, Rocco. We had Rocky on, of course, and I just wanted to make sure that Rocky hears this and everybody in your network knows. If you look at Lucy's name here in the graphics above us, Lucy's name is bigger. I don't know why that worked out like that, but Lucy. Your name ended up being bigger than Rocky's. Can you imagine that? No, he'll hold you accountable for that in the future. So let's just jump right into that about yourself. We certainly want to make sure everybody connects with people here on LinkedIn. So here, I'll put up your LinkedIn profile where people can reach out to you and learn a little bit more about who you are and what you do. But for those who
Yeah,
do not know that, how about you just give us a little brief background, a little bit about yourself, and how you kind of got into travel a little bit, and we'll jump from there.
sure, Peter. First and foremost, thank you so much for inviting me to join you today and sharing your stage. I know we're going to have some fun and talk about travel, but I just wanted to thank you first.
Super welcome.
So I've been in the business for 35 years. Today I'm with TTI Travel, and I run our leisure division, which is away by TTI Travel. And I also head up our new talent development. Something that's very near and dear to my heart is people that are passionate about travel, be they second career people or all the young people that we have out there that are going to be our tomorrow, that are going to continue the legacy that we've started in travel. But I've been in the business since I was 18 years old, and I never forget, when I was a little girl in the early 70s, travel was a big celebration. And I remember the moment that I knew that I wanted to be in travel, and it's when an aunt of mine was going to Portugal, and my mom and her other sisters were all getting together, and it was a special occasion, helping her pack and deciding what she was going to wear on the airplane. And I never forget that. And that at that moment, I was probably 6 or 7 years old. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And, looking back at that little girl, if that little girl knew then where I am today, I would have been the happiest child out there because of where I am, the people that I'm surrounded at, both my colleagues at TTI Travel, Rocky, and all of the amazing partners that we have out there. I feel very privileged and very, very lucky to be so connected to such great individuals. I
Yeah.
started as a small agency owner. Yeah.
Is that right? I did
I
not know
started
that.
as a small, yeah. Yeah. At the age of 18, I opened a little agency here in Oakville, ethnic agency. And as I look back, and when I joined Rocky 11 years ago, one of the reasons that really attracted me to Rocky's company was the fact that his mom and dad started it as a small ethnic agency as well.
Right.
And that's what kind of attracted me to Rocky. And I had a couple of roles in between, a couple of jobs in between. I was very privileged. I was very lucky to have come across a lady who I admire very much and who is my mentor. Her name is Dallas Mackes. And at the time, she worked for Ryder Travel, and I sold my agency in the mid 90s because today, as we all know, we're facing COVID, but back then it was commission caps in the mid 90s. And
Okay.
being a small agency owner, commission caps really affected our revenue. And I was so young. I was in my mid 20s. I was newly married, had a big mortgage. So, like most young people, when, you're first starting out. So a change in income was something that I really had to think about. And it was scary. It was scary because, I had run my own agency since I was 18 in a community that knew me well. And I had to make that decision to sell it and to go work for somebody else where I could perhaps have some better opportunities than in a small agency at that time.
Yeah,
And I was
that's a tough bridge to move across between
very,
is entrepreneurial spirit and then moving it into a structured environment for working for someone else. So can totally relate to that feeling. That's for sure. Because that's my story. I'm not a very good employee. I don't think I'm a good employee. I think I'm a good contractor. I'm a good That's another story. That's another story altogether.
Yeah.
So your current role right now, so that's a fantastic story. And I love the idea that you can bridge your whole career basically back to a moment in time of travel. And that's life in general. I mean, I love that when you fall in love with travel, you can bring it back to very specific moments in your life where it's really affected either the outcome of your life. You meet somebody, you go in a different direction, you travel with a family member, whatever it is. This is why we were talking about this whole point of it's time to travel again. So let's just talk about a little bit in your world right this very second. At TTI, you're more, I believe, on the leisure side, but just describe that role right now for you, and maybe some of the messaging that you're using as you talk to people as we go through this 2020 right now.
Well, what a year it's been for all of us, Peter, right? Like, who knew a year ago, the year that we would have? I mean, when I look back to a year ago today, I had just been out to BC doing a big client event with our team out in British Columbia, and I was heading off to Thailand for a trip with my husband. And who knew where we'd be a year later, right? Like, who knew? But most importantly, who knew how we would get through it? And I think it all relates back to the same thing. So my messaging for anybody in travel right now, be you in the industry or travelers, is that the beauty of what we do, what gives us the passion, is the human connection that we have. And I know that that's a term that's really used a lot right now, but it really is about being connected with each other and staying connected and staying engaged. And what we're doing at TTI Travel is just that. We're staying connected with our travel partners,
Mhm.
who have done an incredible job in developing health and safety protocols for our clients, in giving us the confidence to give our clients the confidence to travel again, and staying connected with our clients, but most importantly, staying connected as a team, that we are all in this together and we will all get through it together. And that's what makes me most proud in all of my years in the industry, is how the whole travel industry has really come together. And we are all leaning on each other and working together. It's not a competition. It's about working together to get us through.
Yeah, especially now, to your point, especially now. Yes, of course, we're all in business, and people are
Yeah,
again. There's this idea that there's competition and so on. Totally understand that. However, it is very very important that the industry itself comes together, has that sense of empathy and compassion for each other, and how all the components fit together. Meaning that when this part of it is not successful, then this part may suffer, and vice versa, and so on.
yeah,
And we need to have these conversations. We need to make sure that our government, our leaders, people that can really help the industry sort of make that transition back from this. We're fear based right now. We
yeah,
need to start moving forward with it. So we've seen some really good things, though. I must say, over the
yeah,
last couple of weeks, we've seen some really really cool things coming out when it comes to
yeah,
testing at airports. A
yeah,
couple new flights have just gone from some of our carriers, and they were
yeah,
full. So I know you
yeah,
know that, but we definitely want to make sure people understand that we're still, there's still people out there traveling. There's destinations that are still taking Canadians, especially Canadians. Again, we're moving into part of the year as well, where people will want to travel, and I know you'll see an upsurge. I hope you'll see an upsurge, and I know you will. I really believe that. Let's talk about. We're talking about the passion of travel right now, but and this is part of this conversation. Like you said, you can take it back to a memory of yours. You love travel. You've been in it for 35 years. I think it's really important that we remember why it's important. So, in your own experience, why do you think travel is so important to people?
travel provides people with something that money can't buy: memories. And it's all about tapping into those special moments and what makes moments special for people. And everybody is different, and that is what is so exciting about what we do: getting to know our clients and why they are traveling and who they are traveling with, and contributing to the memories that they will have always. And even as I look at myself and my career, and I look back on it, it has always been about those times and those special moments that money couldn't buy.
Yeah.
But by tapping into those, they marked my career by marking the people who I touched through their travels. So it's all about memories. It's all about um, giving people memories that they can share with their families and with their friends, learning about different cultures. I mean, at TTI, we really do believe that travel is part of the human spirit. And, that is what we provide our clients with, is those special experiences that want to keep them going.
Yeah, those moments. I couldn't agree with you more about the idea that it's the experiences that you have, the memories that you collect. For me, it's always opened my mind, my heart, my spirit. As a musician, for example, I love going to different places and listening to the music and different instrumentation, food, languaging, just everything. It just keeps the mind open, keeps you, just keeps you grounded as well. Reminds you how small the world is. As big as it is, it's still very very small when you start getting in different parts of the world. So it is really, really important, not just economically, but I think it's just as a species, for us to continuously travel this earth and to reconnect with people. It's so, so important. Again, we're gonna see an upsurge. There's no doubt about it. We're going to move through 2020, and we're going to move into the future, and we're going to see people return to the skies and return to resorts and travel and so on. So in that conversation that you're having with maybe your team, your agents, and even the traveling public in general, what kinds of things are you saying and reminding them of as we move through this? Because we will get through it. So thinking 180 days out, a year from now, no matter what, we'll get to the other side. So what kind of conversations are you having? So if you have a message to the traveling public, what kinds of things are you saying and to remind them of that?
Well, what we're really saying is that it's okay to dream about your travels. Travel has stopped, but we want them to continue dreaming because we are in the dream business, really. That's what we provide our clients with is their dreams. And in our business, their dream is to travel and to explore other cultures. But they're also contributing to our own economy, contributing to other economies. The travel public's approach to travel, their reasons for travel, and how they travel has really changed over the years. It used to be something that people would do just because they could, and it was a certain social status, right?
Sure.
That they could travel, and they've been here, I've been there, I've done that. Now it's a part of how they give back to the world. They're very conscientious of how they travel and why they're traveling. And so we want them to hold on to that. People love giving back. People love knowing that they're helping. And we want to remind them that they will continue to be able to help and give back and contribute to, countries all over the world just by going and celebrating their special occasions in those countries that perhaps are not as fortunate as us, in those different cultures that celebrate different times of year, that celebrate different occasions differently than us. So we're just telling them to continue dreaming, to have faith in the governments, have faith in our traveling partners, that their journeys will be safeguarded, and that, we are going to get through this, and we will all be able to reap the rewards that travel gives to us again.
Oh, couldn't say better. I love what you just did, and you talked about the giving and making a difference, and the philanthropic side of traveling, and why it's important to remember that we're connected to the world empathetically and through compassion and so on, and we can really make a difference in people's lives when we do show up and we learn about something that we get passionate about, and then we take it on and figure out, maybe I can lend a hand here or help this way or spread the news this way. So I love where you took that, because that's that's part of your culture, is it not? I mean, TTIA, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, you're pretty passionate about the fact that travel is really just almost like a conduit, if you will, of making a difference in people's lives. Is that not true?
Yeah, it really is. We give back by providing special moments. We give back by helping people be the best that they can be, and that even relates to our team. Sure, as you mentioned as well, Peter, we are in a business, and everybody's in business to make money. But we've always been of the belief, and that's something that I've always believed in, because I had people who believed in me as well when I went from being a small agency owner to, working for Toronto's first concierge travel service, to managing an agency at a premier boutique at downtown Toronto. Like, who knew that I would go from, ethnic street, Oakville, to the hub of Toronto, and where I would be. And it was all because of who I was, and who I was always about the people that I was dealing with, whether it be my clients or my colleagues. It was never competitive. It was just always about making them the best person that they could be by giving them the best travel experiences that they can have. And today at TTI Travel, that really has been our business plan as well. We believe that if we, give our employees everything they need so that they're happy, the production will come, right? It's about them. It's about giving them the tools and resources that they need. It's about believing in them that they can take good care of the clients. And then it's just a ripple effect. So we give back in that way just by, building up everybody around us. But we also give back by contributing to charities, local, small networking, charitable events. And as I mentioned before, the next generation, working with different colleges and participating in internship programs and all of that. It's all about giving back that has made us move forward.
I love that, and I'm certain that I know in business in general that partners, and people that you work with and so on are always looking for the intangible. It can't always be all about the margins, for example. There has to be this intangible quality of, why do I want to do business with this person or this company? And that's all industry, by the way. But so we're specifically talking about TTI and travel, but that's a great angle for you guys to continue moving down, and for your partners to recognize, because when there's a foundation of wanting to make a difference in people's lives, you're on solid ground there. You're in solid ground, and travel is just the extension of doing good things in the world. I just think that's a very powerful thing you just said. So I'm glad that you brought it up there.
That's where the luxury is, Peter. We're very, we are on the leisure side, in the luxury travel market, but the real luxury is of the experience of how we work amongst ourselves, the experience that we provide our clients with, and working with partners that share that same philosophy, that it is about tapping into emotions, that it is about the luxury of the experience for our clients. It's great that they can stay in luxury hotels, but it's about more than that. It's the luxury of the experience. That's where the real luxury is.
I could not agree. I love that. I mean, that it resonates with me. I know that people that will listen to this will resonate with that as well. And that's the differential, again, of why someone would choose one company over another, or in this particular case, an agency or a boutique agency over another. And I think I know that I make those kinds of decisions, so I know I'm not alone with that. So, and you're right about it is nice to go to luxury resorts and stay in nice hotels, but there's something magical about making a human connection with somebody in that town or city, and especially when it connects to something philanthropic. So I love that, and I appreciate you talking about TTI. Okay, so listen, people know everything about Lucy. They can go right now on to her LinkedIn profile. Right there, you can go on there. But you know what you can't find on LinkedIn profiles, Lucy, is a little thing I call this or that. So we're going to have some fun right now. Let's have some fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. This is so simple. I'm going to just read a couple of things. This is all about travels. This is the travel edition, but I changed it up just for you. I changed this one up. Okay. I know that I had a similar experience with your colleague Rocky, and I threw him a couple questions. So I'm not thinking that you did not see that episode. You probably did, which means that I'm not going to ask her the same questions. I can't do that. It's just to make sure you weren't prepared for this. So I wrote this just last night before I went to bed. I said I'm going to throw out a couple of brand new ones. So I've never asked these to anybody yet. These are yours. These are just for you. So
okay.
So I'll just throw out a couple scenarios, and you just pick one that resonates with you, this or that. You pick one or the other, and let me know what your travel experience would be. Let's start with this one. This I like this one.
Okay.
I really like this one. So number one, we're going to go through, and I have one at the very end where there's a sentence involved, but let's just start with these first ones here. So drink wine under the Eiffel Tower, or drink whiskey in a Scottish castle.
Wine under the Eiffel Tower.
Red or white? Are you a red or white person? Red or white?
I'm really a Prosecco girl.
Oh, hey, I'm in. Completely. I got it. I love it. Okay, how about this one? How about visit the Acropolis in Athens or the pyramids in Egypt?
The pyramids in Egypt.
Right. Have you done either?
I have done the Acropolis in Athens.
Oh, you have.
I will do the pyramids in Egypt.
You sure will. Yes, we all will. Absolutely. Well, I want you to. I mean, just magical stuff there for sure. How about this? See the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City, or boat through the canals of Venice.
I've done both.
Oh, what have you not done? Well, these questions are like, I didn't know that. I just wrote this last night. I was like, so you've done both of those things. Okay, which one? Oh, that's a tough question because they're so different, right? There's a cultural aspect, and yeah. What was that experience like?
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different, but I have to say that the Sistine Chapel definitely touched me and moved me in a way that I never have been before.
I believe that. There's got to be something magically spiritual, and yeah, there's got to be all of that. That's what I'm thinking as well. I'm thinking that must have been magical.
Yeah.
How about this one here? How about bathe in the Dead Sea? I guess either in Jordan or Israel, either side.
Mm-hmm.
Bathe in the Dead Sea, or a mud bath at, I think it's called in Iceland, it's called Askja, Askja volcano. So Askja volcano. So you bathe in the Dead Sea or a mud bath near the volcano?
Mud bath.
Mud bath? Have you done that? Don't tell me you've done that.
Not in Iceland, but I have done a mud bath.
Is that right? Where was that one? I'm just curious. Where was that one?
It was in Portugal.
Okay,
in Portugal, at a thermal spa in Portugal.
Gosh, I hope there's something on here that you haven't done. I'm going to try to find something here. I don't know. How about this one? How about chocolate in Switzerland or poutine in Old Quebec City?
Chocolate in Switzerland. Chocolate anywhere.
Yeah, I was just gonna
chocolate anywhere.
I know when you start a sentence with chocolate, it's like, yeah, it stops right there.
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. I get it. Absolutely. How about this? How about Sydney, Australia? We do the bridge climb. The bridge climb in Sydney, or people watching in Times Square, New York City.
People watching in Times Square in New York City.
Yeah. See, and I'm going to tell you something, Lucy, which I still can't believe I'm saying this publicly. Do you know I've never been to New York City? I've never been to New York. Like, and when I say it, me, I just like, I love music. I love art. I love theater. I love all that stuff, the energy of that city, and never been. I can't believe it. And people watching there must be amazing.
I think it's because it's so close to you and to who you are and what you do, right? Music, it's known for music. It's known for theater. It's close to home. So it's familiar to you.
You know what? Maybe that is it. It's funny you say that. I'll think about that. That's interesting. You say that. That's an interesting. But I do have a friend here in that I know quite well who said that they've done exactly that. People watch in Times Square, and he just loved it. He sat there with a pint on one of the little pubs and just watched people, and he said it was magical to do that. So I totally would appreciate doing that as well. How about this one? How about trek to Machu Picchu in Peru, or discover the Taj Mahal in India?
That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I'm going to go with the Taj Mahal in India, again, because of the story behind it.
Right.
That magical love story.
Right. I mean, that is a magical story, by the way. Have you done
Yeah.
either one of those? Have you done either one?
No, I haven't done either.
Okay, good. That's
I
good for me.
haven't done either.
I finally found something you
I
didn't do.
haven't.
Okay, now this one is a straight. I don't know where this popped in my head, but it's probably because of the times right now, what we're doing. How about this? How about visit the White House in Washington or visit the Kremlin in Moscow?
You really asking me that question?
Yeah.
My first reaction is neither, to be honest with you.
We're talking destinations now and history. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I got it.
I guess I'm going a little bit deeper than
Don't
the
go too deep. Don't go
destination
too deep.
and the experience.
Don't go deep. Don't go deep.
Well, I've visited the White House, so I guess I would
Oh,
say the Kremlin.
wow.
But
What was that experience like? I mean, the White House, obviously, it's globally known. I mean, it must have been a pretty interesting experience, to say the least.
well, I have to tell you, when I first arrived at the White House, I've always imagined it as this big white house.
Yeah.
It was so small.
Come on, really? I did not know this. I didn't know this. I got that
It's
in my head
very
too. I really do.
small.
I'm thinking like this got to be
Yeah.
gigantic. I've heard that
Yeah,
about
it's
Graceland, by the
very,
way.
very. Washington's a great city, though. It's fantastic, and
Yeah,
talk about giving back to people. I mean, I don't know if many people are aware of this, but all of the museums are complimentary in Washington, right? So that's a huge. That kind of speaks volumes for believing in giving experiences
right,
and learning about history and government and all of the firsts.
right.
So it's complimentary to enter into any museum in Washington.
That's fantastic. And you know, it's to that point is I've spoken to somebody who actually speaks very highly of traveling to Washington for that exact reason. His comment was, I could just spend literally weeks going from different museums and just learning about history and culture. It's amazing. It's amazing down there. So no, that's great. And like I said, I've never. I mean, how many of us have been to Moscow? I mean, I know a lot of people in Canada, for example, hockey players and so on, might have had an experience of that. But other than that, none of us really have get a chance to go to the Kremlin. How about this one? This is totally crazy. I don't know where this came from. It just came out of me. I just don't know what it is. But I was thinking about I did a little pirate cruise when I was in St. Lucia one time. I jumped on a pirate ship. It was kind of cool. So I thought of this one. I try to stay with me on this one. How about a pirate ship cruise with Johnny Depp or a pub tour with Mick Jagger?
Pub tour with Mick Jagger.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Why is
Tapping
that?
into you because of you.
Well, I
Because I
appreciate it.
know your background.
Well, music likes it. Well, you know what? But
Actually,
yeah,
no, no, sorry. As much as I think, I was having a hard time getting through it because I'm imagining you in your pirate hat. So that was a fun kind of a thought for me, but definitely the pub tour with Mick Jagger. The
well, I
stories that man can tell, I'm sure.
can you imagine? I couldn't even imagine sitting down having a pint with that guy and just casually just letting him go. Don't have to ask anything. Just chat. But interestingly enough, Johnny Depp is actually a really really good musician. He's a rock and roller too, and
Yeah.
so that's the kind of the connection there between those two. I just thought the same thing. I was thinking, I think I'd like to hang out with Johnny too. But yeah, pub tour with Mick. I can't go wrong with
Yeah,
that.
Nick's got, look at me calling him by his first name.
Yeah,
He's
look
got
at
a
us.
lot of years under his belt. So I
Yeah.
imagine he has a few more stories to tell than Johnny would.
I think you're absolutely right about that. I threw that one in there because I didn't know where that could possibly go. There's all kinds of interesting things in there. Okay, how about this one? We'll finish off with this one. I love this one because it really will speak to somebody, but hopefully it will speak to you. Finish this sentence for me. I love to travel because
I love connecting with people.
yeah, see, This is it. It's just, isn't that crazy? I mean, when I say crazy, I mean crazy cool that is literally how we feel about it. I know I feel the same way. It's like this. I mean, what we're doing now, it's not the technology, it's not, speaking into a microphone, it's none of that stuff. It's being able to connect with another person and have a conversation, and that's what's magical. That's the magic of it, and travel does that. So I can so totally relate to that. I totally relate to that. See, you came through unscarred, this or that. It was fantastic. I loved your answers, by the way, and I'm so glad I was able to find at least one thing that you didn't do. I couldn't believe how many. I can't believe how many things that you've done. I can't believe it. It's fantastic. So I appreciate that. Well, listen, Lucy, I so appreciate you taking out the time today to have this conversation. And again, for everybody watching this, we're not, there's no disrespect to what's going on out there in the world, obviously. I mean, we know that we're still in a very serious situation around the world when it comes to the pandemic and all of the measures we have to do. But the messaging really, and maybe you can add to this, is, the time to travel concept is just about having the conversation to remind our leaders and in government and other businesses and so on, that we need to rally around that industry, because it is plays such a big part in our own economies, but also just as human beings. I don't know if you want to add to that, Lucy.
Yeah, it's definitely serious times for us, Peter, for people all over the world. And we really are very fortunate to live in Canada and to have the comfort of Canada that we have. But yeah, we're going to get through this. Yeah, we laughed a little bit, and that I think that's important. And thank you for making me laugh, because it has been very difficult times, but we will get through it. We just have to remember, we're human beings. We live for other human beings. We make other human beings' lives better, and just be patient, and we will get through it. The travel god will come through for us.
Absolutely. We'll be praying to that entity, that's for sure. Hey, I just want to throw up a quick little comment here, and I like this guy. This guy's like a rock star,
Oh, yeah,
hidden inside of Air Canada. This is a rock star inside of Air Canada. Jamie Fox,
yeah.
thank you for your comment here on LinkedIn. Keep dreaming, and when you are ready to book again, we almost book with a travel agent. You can't go wrong with TTI Canada, one of several top agencies in the industry. Hey, that's a good shout out right there. That's a good shout out. Thank
Yeah,
you, Jamie.
Jamie is a very valued partner. He's a very valued partner. And
Right?
yeah, we're very lucky to have a partner like Jamie. As I was saying before, the partners that we work with.
Yeah, it's so important, and again, the integrity of people and wanting to do business with them. That guy is one of them. I met him many,
Yeah,
many years ago, and yeah,
yeah,
he just has that cool energy. And anyway, you
he
got some
does.
good partners there. You got some great partners.
Yeah.
Lucy, it's been so nice to speak with you. It's been so
Thank
fun to
you,
speak
Peter.
with
Thank
you.
you again. Thank you again for inviting me into your world
Oh,
and
this has
bringing a
been
little bit of
awesome.
lightness, a little bit of levity into what we're going through.
Yeah, and again, everybody, listen. We're all in the same. One of the stories I've heard before, about when we say we're all in this together. We're all in the same storm. We might be in different boats, but we're all in the same storm. So just be conscious of other people's boats. I know for me,
Yeah,
I'm in a little rubber dinghy. Okay, I'm just kind of floating
yeah,
along. Some other people got
yeah. I'm right
battleships
there
out
with
there.
you. I'm right there with you.
You can relate. I know you can relate to that. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for joining us for this. And Lucy, all the best to you. We're going to be doing this again. We'll chat again. I know we will. And we want to thank everybody for their support of the travel industry. And time to
Yes.
travel. Let's keep spreading the message. Lucy, we'll talk again another time. Okay.
Thank you for your support and spreading our message as well, Peter. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. Okay, everybody, remember, be kind out there. Be kind out there. See ya.